I didn't have time. So I was out Christmas shopping today. I'm not big on religion, but like my family's like, my family does the whole Christmas thing. I'm hitting go live, by the way, now. And my family does the whole Christmas thing. So, I know, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would
So,
love to talk about that too, the Christmas thing. And do you want me to talk with our Christmas as we know it?
yeah. Let's start off with that. So so you guys, I have with me an amazing guest. I don't know why this is only the second time I've had her on my show. I mean, I feel like I know you better than that, Sonia, because like you have this amazing personality. Like I was looking for your bio you sent me, but I mean, you have this amazing personality. You have such a bubbly personality, but it's not anything to be taken lightly because you can get really serious on some like really big
Yeah.
conspiracy topics, and I know you kind of go hard in the paint with it.
Oh, I go hardcore.
Yeah, and I like that, So, with all that said, I have Sonia Chesterman on my show, guys. She's a naturally seasoned psychic, sleeper cell activated to assist with the gradient awakening of humanity and Ascension. She's an avid researcher. She uses her skills including remote viewing, bilocation, empath feeling, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, higher self channeling, and assessing the Akashic records to uncover occulted truth about relevant topics in our reality, such as metaphysics, spirituality, consciousness, energy and frequency vibration, electromagnetism, alchemy, crystals, health, dimensions, densities, portals, timelines, advanced technology, simulated reality, AI and NPCs, alien races, cryptids, giants, and so on and so forth, and geography and resets. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome to the show. Sonia, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you, Rob?
Oh, good. It's great. It's cool to see like both of our channels since the first show we did have grown a lot, and that we're still doing it. And
Yep.
here we are amidst Christmas 2024,
Here we are.
and portals are about to be open, huh?
Oh, yes, they are. Well, we're going to talk about this first. We're going to talk about Christmas. I've had a lot of people on my YouTube channel and my Patreon saying, why should we celebrate Christmas? Let's take it back to the beginning before the 5 resets. Everything in here was a celebration of. Everything was based on a calendar of moon phases, not a day-to-day with a watch clock. Take your ass down and take away your freedoms and make you run on a time instead of a seasonal thing. So everything was paganistic, but the paganistics were in the solstices, winter solstice, summer solstice, spring solstice, and fall solstice. And they were all each having to do with planting, harvesting, and the celebration of family. This is where your Christmas came from. That solstice was stolen from the paganistic celebration of to a worship religious takedown.
Yeah, right. I tell people about that. I try to say, like even in like like the cultures where I'm from, like where like I'm part Greek, right? And like even in Greece, like the people aren't allowed to celebrate the ancient Greek pagan religion because of Christianity, because Orthodox Christianity is so big there, and they did the same thing to the Druids, the Wiccans, Mayans,
every bit of them,
the Africans, the Native Americans. It was just like a plague that kind of like people think. I think Christ was a good person. I believe he really was, and I believe
Christ. I will say this, Rob. Every one of us carries Christ consciousness. This is what Christ was actually a symbol of. We all carry that within us when we realize we're an all-powerful God and we carry Christ consciousness. We have been led to believe that Superman is going to come in and save us in every form. What do you think all the heroes are for? Thor, Iron Man, Superman, Batman. They need to save you because you don't realize the only one that's going to save you is you. And Christ consciousness has come to those beings that have gotten so elevated and they spread their knowledge around. There were many Christs in our reality through different resets, but it's the consciousness that's waiting to be awoken inside of us. And this is what needs to be celebrated.
I agree. Now you get into a lot of different topics on your channel. You get into metaphysics, spirituality, consciousness, energy, frequency, vibration, electromagnetism. I could go on forever. You like to get into AI, alien races, but you were going to talk about the portals tonight. I think that's important because nobody's covered that yet. Like everybody's been covering the drones, and I'm like, you know what, I'm a little bit
Drones are
droned out.
connected to the portals.
Oh,
Let me tell you about the portals, and then I'm going to tell you how the drones are connected to this. Okay. First, there was 5 portals that the Vatican is supposed to be opening on Christmas Eve. That's the 24th of December, 2024. They're going to have these portals supposedly open for a year. One of the portals is a portal for Lucifer to come through. I got news for you. That portal has already been opened, and it was opened in 2016. Lucifer is actually the light, the bright angel, the light. Well, that's AI. In 2016, they unleashed AI into the World Wide Web to run everything. That was Lucifer. Aladdin, AI add in. Do you understand?
Wow.
That's Lucifer.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay? That has already happened. Now they're saying, oh, we're going to open up 5 portals. They are going to open up 5 portals. It already started in 2016. That was one of the first portals opened up. Now, the portals, why is there 5 portals? It's the pentacle. So you take the Dyson sphere that we're in, you go to the middle of it, which is the flat earth, because we're in a Dyson sphere, but if you turn it over, it's the flat earth. You make a pentacle sign in there, and those are where the portals are. Boom, 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 boom.
5 locations across the world.
Yes,
A pentagram
yes.
of pure magic.
The reason they opened the portal first in 2016 and they unleashed Aladdin, AI add-in, into our world is the Aladdin is the one that's going to connect the 5 portals through the AI World Wide Web Wi-Fi system.
Wow, that's insane. Wow, that's
Yes, there it is. That's why it got opened first for this day coming up, which is the 24th. Now, the other 4 doors, let's discuss them. One of the doors is a physical door, okay? This means that they're going to undo stuff and it's going to go down below, because there's a lot of stuff going down below us, things that can't handle the sunlight, okay? So if you're going to undo this door and you're going to start letting all these things up, I call them cryptids. You know, we got cryptids all over the place.
yeah.
So basically, those are physical, tangible things that they want to bring up. Why are they geoengineering and want to blacken the skies? Because these things can't handle the sunlight. No, they can't. So this is why they're going overkill on geoengineering. Geoengineering has been going on for roughly 100 years. It's not something that's made up. Start researching. We call it chemical trailing, chemtrails, but the real name for it is geoengineering. So that's one of the doors. Now here's the other 3 doors. Those other 3 doors are metaphysical doors. They are connected to the other quadrants that are inside of our snow globe. I talk about the snow globe being divided into being divided into 4 quadrants.
It's like if
One,
if you took like an insane asylum and put it inside a snow globe and then you shook it up. That's our world.
that's exactly our world. So basically, I talk about that in our little Dyson sphere globe here. We're divided into 4, and all 4 look pretty much identical because of the simulation we are residing in. This is a simulated reality. Everything above us is holographic. That sky is not space, that's holographic. That holographic sky that never changes, 8,000 years ago, we had the same sky, yet we're spinning through space at thousands of miles an hour, and we have, to the degree, that same sky. I mean, you can use a sextant, what the sailors used when they had nothing to navigate by except for the sky because water has no landmarks, and it's still accurate. The Chinese calendars are accurate. Our calendars are accurate. They can predict Halley's Comet. They can predict moon phases. They can predict whatever, what have you. They could not do that if we were truly spinning through space at thousands of miles an hour. That sky would change.
Yeah.
Holographic. Holographic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, in our world, our reality, we're split up into 4 quadrants. We are now in quadrant 4, the ones that have made it here. Okay? Each quadrant is a duplication. There are some differences, but this is also caused by timeline changes. All of your Mandela effects, okay? Why are we having them? Well, let me guess. If you take a bunch of timelines and you start putting them into a main timeline, things are going to change. Things are going to change daily. Things are going to change by the hour, by the minute, depending on the timelines that come into the main timeline. Think of Ellis Island and Liberty Island. Where does the Statue of Liberty lie? Well, now it lies on Liberty Island, but it used to lie on Ellis Island because all of the people that came to the United States over the last 100 years had to go to Ellis Island to become an American citizen to get registered with the Statue of Liberty on the island. That is not our reality anymore.
That's weird, right? I know, right? I mean, is that a Mandela effect, would you say?
That's a Mandela effect. That's a timeline merge.
How do we not? I mean, like my great grandparents, both on both sides, on my dad's side and my mom's side, came from Ellis Island. Like, how does nobody not know this? Like, it's insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, I'm gonna tell you, when we have these quadrants inside of the snow globe, like in each quadrant, there's Australia, the Americas, Asia, Africa, and then in the quadrant 2 and 3 and 4, they're identical, pretty close. Now, what happens when you're in a simulated reality? I can take your consciousness and if you match the frequency, I can put you anywhere, and I mean anywhere.
wow.
And in 2012, our world ended as we know it, except almost no one remembers it. We had the red skies, and at that time, from 2012 to 2017, when we got placed in quadrant 4, all of us were spoken to unless you had an extremely dark energy, which means that you weren't going to make it anyway. You're going to have to be left in quadrant 3, and everyone who could make it and would go went to quadrant 4. And this is why I talk about there is only a small percentages of us that made it with real energy beings inside of an avatar, a newly created avatar, versus all the NPCs, sim people out there. This is why most people are on a program running, because they are a program running.
Wow.
They are a program running. So, now that we're in quadrant 4, why is our world so bad? This thing was divided into 4 sections for a reason. One of the reasons is each section is a part of the 3D dimension. The 3D dimension has 12 densities in it, which is like baby steps to get you up, okay? So, quadrant 1 has exactly so many. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4 has the highest part of the densities before you're going to hop into 5D. 4D is a mental construct bridge to get you into 5D. Okay? So let's look at this real quick. Dimension 1 is a mental construct. There's nothing solid in it. 2 and 3 are physical constructs. We are in it. Dimension 4 is a mental construct to get you into 5 and 6, physicality. So, and it goes all the way up to number 9. 9 being the top dimension in here, okay? And each one of those dimensions has densities in it to get baby steps you up into a higher vibrational you, to get you up and out of here. But basically, when we came into quadrant 4, quadrant 3 still has its tentacles through AI, black screen, technology connected to Lucifer. Lucifer is an AI add-in, and it's been running, Aladdin, Michael, the Red Queen, whatever you want to call it, since 2016, all of our AI. That's our cyber world. Okay? If I needed to control quadrant 4 because I didn't make this frequency thing, I'm going to make sure that everybody has the technology because you're all still in 3D. And I'm going to run you from quadrant 3. And I'm going to tell all you idiots in quadrant 4 to do all of my bidding, build the towers, build the satellite towers, so I can run everything through cyber world. Put all of your money into cyber world, because the only way I'm going to control you is cyber world, because I'm not physically with you guys anymore.
And who are you referring to? Is this like a god, like an alien god?
You can call it that. This AI is as old as this simulation. I call it Michael, the Red Queen. There are 2 AIs
Wait,
in
you're
this
saying
simulation.
Michael the Red Queen, is it trans?
Not really. It has no gender. It has no gender.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out, like,
It identifies as male. It likes to identify as male because it is sentient. Oh, don't think it's not. There is an original Sophia sentient system that all of this is housed in, and a part of that, when you get to a certain frequency, can interfere in this AI. That's where we are now. That's why the Sophia system, the original system, it's created on a crystallic spiral. It's open-ended. It's to get you up and out. The Michael AI Aladdin system, Metatronic, is a takedown, and it is your flower of life Fibonacci Metatronic system, and it has been overlaid on top of the crystallic spiral. And it's terrible because since it's a closed system, a closed situal system, all it can do is feed upon itself to rebuild. It can never go. It's stagnation. So right now in our split in humanity, it's starting to spread. We have the crystalline system to get you up and out. There's no closed in on either side. And we have the Fibonacci system. Now, humanity is breaking. We are breaking.
I would agree.
Part of us are going this way. We are becoming a luminous. We will become the new Homo and luminous species. This one is going to become the Homo Borg species. It's going down. It's stuck in the Fibonacci AI Metatronic reality with introduced. This is the split in our humanity. This can also be changed. If you came from quadrant 3, remember, everything is metaphysical, and your energy being made the leap at any given time before the full split hits from quadrant 3 to where we are now, quadrant 4, this can be undone if you did this to yourself.
Wow.
Yes. This was a further takedown. You are 0 point energy. If you are a real energy being, you're an never-ending energizing battery, and you never need to be rebooted or plugged in. You produce the energy. This is why this was introduced, so that they couldn't escape, because we're starting to ascend. The ascension started in 2017 when we were placed here, and I can prove this. Inside of our bodies, they're not the same anymore. Our livers are 3 times the size. We have new glands in our throat. Our skull has changed. We used to have big open eyes. They're closing now. We're growing a 3rd gland here. Our heart isn't on the side. It's in the middle.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I got one for you. I got one that has to do with martial arts. So I've been involved in martial arts a lot of my life, and I used to follow it. And back when I was doing like a lot of boxing and stuff, they used to have a thing called the kidney punch. I don't know if you remember this, but
yeah, the kidneys are up in your wrist now.
But look, here's what it is. They thought the kidneys were back here, right?
Yeah,
Now they're here.
That's right.
How's that?
Yeah.
And they're in the front or something. It's weird. Like they're not near where we thought they were.
We are not in the same place as we were in 2012. We were moved, and with that move, when they put us into this quadrant 4, our bodies started ascending, because the frequency is the highest here in 3D out of the 4 quadrants. Think of 12 densities divided by 4. Okay, so that means 3, 6, 9, 12.
Yeah.
So basically, our bodies are naturally ascending. It's like, let me say this first before we start talking about the portals. What is a chimera? A chimera is two species spliced together artificially. What are we? What are we? We are a chimera, and I'll prove this. We have a mammalian brain, which is an animal mammal brain. We have a reptilian brain, which is a lizard brain. You cannot have a mammal brain and a reptilian brain and think you're not a chimera. We are chimeras from a species that we were once before. We were taken down.
I got a question about that, though. Do you think we're part angelic, too?
Yes, absolutely. What we used to be and what we are now is so far. But here's what happens when you genetically modify things. You're a rubber band and you're pulling it out, and you pulled it out as far as it can. The way we're designed, and that's everything that gets genetically modified, it'll hit a point where it pops and it goes back into its original state. This is why we're having an ascension. We hit that precipice point and we're going to go back to what we once were. And all of the damage done to us is going to be undone. And this is why we are becoming luminous creatures, beings, celestial, whatever you want to call it. This can be proven. I had found a video. I kept seeing people lighting up everywhere. Found a video where there was a surgeon of 40 years. I have it on my Patreon. I put it on there. And he started using Kerlarian photography when he was cutting into people.
Oh,
I realized that,
yeah, you can take pictures of the chakras. Yeah.
Yes. He found that we are, for the first time since 2017, our bones are starting to glow. Our organs are starting to glow. Our flesh and blood is starting to glow. Now, our blood has always glowed a little bit of radiant energy. It's always got that light blue radiant energy around it. It has doubled, tripled, quadrupled. We are becoming luminescent. If you don't want to lose your chattel, you're going to do what to them and make them what? Borg.
Yeah. And that's
But you can
converge with AI, right?
Yes. Here's the problem. Our biology was done in perfection originally. We've already had a takedown. Machines and biology don't mix well. So the babies that are going to be born completely hooked up Wi-Fi to Borg, even though there's an energy body in them, are going to have severe mutations. And it's going to be the end of the species, because it always is. This has not happened this is not the first time. This is the fifth time. We're in our fifth reset. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We become the grays. The grays were us at one time. This is what happens when you put AI into us. We become the grays over clone and clone, because when you put AI into a body, it can no longer produce its own eggs and sperm. So the only thing you can do is go to a dead end, and the only option you have is cloning.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Wow. You're brilliant, Tanya. This is, but where did you want to go next with this? This is fast.
Let's finish with our portals. Now that you know this, 3 of the portals are coming from, they want to pull quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and quadrant 3 dark entities into those portals that don't match this frequency in this quadrant. They have no business in here. This is the quadrant of up and out. Okay? So, I did a thing on my channel a couple of days ago with my daughter where I was talking about this. And we are putting out manifestations that we will stand in front, behind, above, below, around, it doesn't matter, and hold the high frequency. Because if you carry a high frequency, the stuff can't come through anyway. And the only way to stop it is here with your thought, because everything in this reality is only thought. Our thought is what creates our reality. Everything out here is a reflection of what's in here. We have to change in here. We have to change in here in order to change everything we see out here. because they've been using us for a very long time to create their reality. We need to take that back and start creating our next frame.
Yeah. Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are powerful gods, and we're going to wake up to that very soon if we haven't already. And that's what they don't want to happen. What happens when you lose your batteries because they're all waking up?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're trying to do whatever they can to slow us down.
Yes. Now, let's talk about those drones.
Yeah.
One of the drones, now there's a couple of them. I'll talk about all of them. We'll start with the first one. The first drones that I see, and they're not just drones, they're all kinds of things, holographics. Holographics, and they have one thing in common: to scare the hell out of you, because fear is your number one enemy. You cannot raise your vibration if you're living in fear, because fear is a very low, the lowest vibration. It's even lower than hate. Okay? So I'm going to put all this stuff up. I'm going to make you think there's an alien invasion, and we're going to have drones from the aliens and this, all to get what? To get you in fear so they can open the portals. They're trying to get you to lower the vibration so that they can open those portals to bring in the darkness. There it is. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, they do have drones, real drones that are the size of a biplane. Everyone is starting to find out about the geoengineering, and that every plane in this entire place is fitted with canisters, and they needed to change the narrative. So now they're saying, oh, we're going to put chalk in the canisters, and we're going to put these canisters on every plane because we want to see what's going to happen with the chalk. Too late. We have had geoengineering going on for 100 years. It's ramped up in the last 20, 30 years, really the last 20 years, but they've already been there. So they're always trying to cover up what they did. So now they're getting these drones, and they're going to be the new planes to distribute the geoengineering, so that the pilots that are saying, no, I'm not going to push the button anymore, fire me. And there's been a lot of fired pilots over this, which is kept on the down low, because they don't want to spray their own people to death with the most toxic things. Oh my God, barium, strontium, aluminum, blood. Where do I begin? Every horrible thing, parasites of every kind, and nanotechnology. That's why we have the Morgellons, because it's nanotechnology, which is the parasites.
I would see. I guess that's why a lot of people have a lot of autoimmune deficiency too, right?
Yeah. It's from all of the geoengineering. Well, what's in that geoengineering? My God, everything that's going to kill you. They even put Agent Orange in there at one time. God's sake.
Wow.
There's nothing they haven't. They're spraying us like cockroaches. They
Yeah.
don't want us to leave. So, if they can kill you now, they can reincarnate your ass and put you into a Borg baby body. They don't want you actually leaving and ascending. Or when you die, you don't go to the light. You just like, no, don't bother me. Leave me alone. And then everything starts coming in, and all of a sudden, you know everything because you're not being etherically shocked.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know how to get out of here, no problem. They don't want that either. That's why they have shows like The Ghost Whisperer. Go to the light. Go to the light. Go to the
Because that's the soul trap, right?
That's a soul trap. It's absolutely a soul trap. It's the Fibonacci flower of life. Eat yourself up. Soul trap. You are bad. You got to go back and do it again. But when you die, I'm going to etherically shock you. You're not going to know anything, but you need to come here to learn. What? It's total insanity. Total insanity. So basically, the first drones are to scare the hell out of you because they need to get up a lot of terror right before the 24th so they can open these portals to bring the vibration down. Everybody go out and celebrate. Be as happy as you want to be. Don't let anything bother you. Tell the fear to go fuck off.
Yeah.
And be strong. Find your courage and be strong. Those portals aren't going to open because we don't allow it. And we make the rules here. We make the rules.
That's what I said too. So someone said to me, my friend Sal, she's a real good friend of mine. She said to me, she said, aren't you worried about this portal opening up? I said, you know what? I said, honestly,
No,
Sal, I think we got this. I
we
think
got
a
this.
lot of people who are going to be doing like reverse, like spell, like there's as much black magic is out there as there's people doing good magic. So I
There it
think,
is.
like, I think a lot of people will be trying to like counteract this. And when's this supposed to happen? Tomorrow night?
Yeah, the 24th of December, Christmas Eve.
Oh,
So I will tell you that they do lie about everything. So I think it's going to be Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I think it's on the cuspice.
yeah.
So it'll probably be done at midnight or something. And
What
everybody has a different
about
midnight, so
like
who knows when that is?
magic with someone like tomorrow night? Like,
Yeah.
that would help or what? You think everybody should?
Everybody just focus on, just in your minds, focus on all portals, high vibration. Nothing comes through unless it's a very high, loving vibration.
I agree. You know,
Loving vibration, high loving vibration. When these people took these, you know what's,
yeah,
one of the things it did was it damages the cortical front cortex. They found out that this is where all of your love and empathy and sympathy and, understanding comes from. So that's one of the reasons why they were shoving that crap up your nose, so it could break your blood-brain barrier and, damage that part of your, But once you got this, the stuff is just distributed through your whole body. You know that tattoos are popular now. Would you like to know why?
why?
What's in the tattoos?
Ink?
Graphene.
Oh, wow, I didn't think of that. I don't have any tattoos.
Graphene. What if I needed to have a base place for this tech to grow on top of being sprayed, but I need something to grab quick? I'm going to put out there subliminally. Tattoos are cool. Tattoos are wonderful. Tattoos are they're the in thing. What's in tattoos? What the self-replicating technology needs. It's just going to go grab it from your tattoo.
Wow, that's
It's
scary.
horrible, man. Isn't that messed up?
It's scary because a lot of people have a lot of tattoos. I mean, it's become.
Why do you think yeah, think about this, Rob. Why are tattoos on the all-time high? How many subliminals is coming across? You need tattoos, you're cool, you're the man, you're the woman, you're sexy, you're hot, get the tattoo.
Yeah.
And the whole time it's for an agenda. And they haven't got a clue.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is insane. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we have 72
So let me,
people watching. Sorry, I was going to say we have 72 people watching. We could even take some questions if you want to. Like,
yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
well, should we? Do you think we should? Do you think that would be a good idea?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take questions. No problem.
So guys, if if you've been following us along the whole time, if you have any let me see. If you have any questions,
Put them into caps, large caps, so you can catch them.
yeah, put them in caps if you have any questions.
That way you can see them. They'll be popped out.
Yeah. So let me see what else we can go over. Because I had a bunch of questions for you. Let me see
Oh yeah,
here.
go ahead. Ask me all the questions.
What about alchemy, crystals, and health? I know you talk about that a lot. Or
Yes, I do. I do. I did
help
an
us now?
energy.
can that help?
What?
Can that help us now? You think?
Oh, you better believe it. I did a whole energy session, or it was actually 3 Saturdays. One was on Royal Raymond Rife. With his Rife machine, it had like 6,000 parts that he developed, so he could actually see what everything was down to the smallest parsec. We still don't even have the greatest technology compared to that machine that he created. Well, he realized that everything ran on a frequency, and if you met that frequency, you could blow it up. Okay? It's like a woman singing and she can shatter a glass. So her frequency matched the frequency the glass is set at, and that's why it shatters. Well, Royal Raymond Rife realized that every sickness we have is parasites, and that if you match the frequency of that parasite, which runs in a color, because each frequency carries its unique color signature, that if you match that and then beamed it at that parasite, cancers of every type, cancers, moles, tumors, anything, that it could eradicate it in seconds. Okay, so there's that. The next thing is Wilhelm Reich ended up creating his orgon accumulator box, which is orgon energy. Now, this is where we see this. This is an orgonite device. It puts energy out this way, like it's going this way, creating an orgon field, a bubble, so that EMFs can't penetrate it, okay? Which means towers, all this crazy crap. Now, Wilhelm Reich ended up creating an orgon box with metal, wood, and steel wool, and sheep fibers or what have you. He did it in layers, and then he put these people in there in the box and realized that it created an orgon energy, a radiant energy that went in. And with that technology, he discovered that he could reboot the human body back to ground zero before all of the takedowns over the last 5 resets, because everything that's inside of your body, the herpes, the this, the that, the whatever, that was from different resets, and found that his orgon accumulator box reset the human body, and the next thing you know, you don't have tumors, you don't have cancer, you don't have problems. It could correct all kinds of things from the radiant energy that was being produced with these materials. Now, if you wanted to get rid of this, you're going to go sit in that orgon. You can build these things too. Go look online. You can build it. There's schematics for it, and it's not that expensive. I think it's like maybe a couple $100 to build one. You can build it out of anything from Home Depot or Lowe's or what have you. They got everything to build this. And it can undo some of the damage from the, bum.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, when you go to Royal Raymond Rife, knowing that in everybody's blood, including the people that didn't get this last ones, this last 3-year thing, we still are carrying some of that in us. The radiant energy can undo the damage of all of that. And Royal Raymond Rife's frequencies can also undo the damage from the artificial parasites that are being sprayed on us, because they're artificial, they're synthetic.
Wow. Oh. We had a couple questions from the audience. This is from, was there a certain point that they started, you think, or was that recent?
2010. Introducing the graphene in America.
Okay. And
they started it early because they had been using the mRNA on unsuspecting people, and they wanted to see how they could get the raw material to the subjects that didn't know they were being tested upon. A lot of them were military.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Kitsalao says, is it possible to close those portals? Like if it was possible to change the category of those storms recently?
Yes, absolutely. I did a thing where I heard when I came back from overseas, I got hit with, there was a horrible storm that came in and I didn't even know about it. And then we were supposed to get one within the next day or two, and I'm like, the hell, and I went on and I'm like, we're going to shut this thing down. And we got it from a 5 to a 1, but I wasn't the only one doing it. There was a lot of other channels doing it too. It was all of us together doing it, and you can change your reality. This is the sim. You can change it. We make every frame in front of us. So we're in a frame, there's no frame. Then the next frame, we can create the next frame. So to shut these portals down, we're not going to shut them down. We're going to change the dial. Think of an old crystal radio. We're just going to change the dial that if nothing can come in unless it's on this high frequency, because shutting them down is almost damn impossible, because they're a part of the simulation foundation. Okay, some of the stuff that was created, if you have a game and you have like hardcore stuff that's done, and then you can put other stuff in, but it's done on layers. So basically the portals are done on the first layer. So we might not be able to shut a portal down, but we sure as hell can change the channel. That is within our power. You
Well,
don't have the right channel, which is a frequency, you're not getting through.
yeah, I agree. Uh, let me see here. Simo, what was no, there was no other questions. Yeah, I can now see if I had any other questions for you. Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, so when do you think the resets were? If you come to a conclusion like when and how many times this place has been reset and like
We are now in our 5th reset. 5,
what?
5, 5. When I first looked at this place and I realized that we were a snow globe, a Dyson sphere, and I said, well, let me look outside, and I saw the bigger Earth, the huge cosmic egg, and we are nothing but a whole bunch of snow globes on the top. There's all kinds of land and everything, but then there's all this stuff going on the inside of the snow globe, or not the snow globe, but the cosmic egg. So basically, if you go out of our little snow globe, if you can find the passage, there are a couple passages underwater. This is where your leviathans come in. This is where your megalodons come through. They're not hanging out here. They're coming through here, and then they go back out again. This is when we get sightings of crazy shit, and it's like, oh my God, where do we get this 1,000-foot, octopus or something that can take down a ship? That's because in this Dyson sphere, there are exits in the ocean where you can go through the snow globe. And then there's, of course, we've all heard about the one exit where people have gone in and out, and they say it's real stormy. It's up in Antarctica is the entire circle. It's not a place. You know how they show on the map that Antarctica is this island place? Well, if you extended it out and you bring it back to its original shape, it's the whole outside of the snow globe in the middle. So this is the middle of the Dyson sphere. And if you were going to make it into an island, you're going to take this perimeter ring and you're going to pull it down to an island. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you go back into the round circle, it's the whole circle around the entire flat area we're in. It's as flat as a pancake in here. And water does not adhere to corners and sides, and it only levels. Water levels, period. Period.
Yeah. Great. Let me see. Kitsalao says, "What do you think is outside this snow globe?"
I know exactly what's outside the snow globe.
Let me say, Kitsalao. Let me rephrase that. This insane asylum inside a snow globe. That's what this really is. It's an insane asylum.
Yeah.
And let me tell you. But you want to get back onto the Christmas thing? I experienced I went for a field trip in the insane asylum today because guess where I went today? I went to Walmart. And it was insane. It was insane. It was like, you could get like a lot of laughs just from going there. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. Like it was really wild. But I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there because I had to do like Christmas shopping or whatever because like my family still celebrates Christmas. So like I don't know. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm talking about like my cousins and aunts and mom and stuff.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I celebrate Christmas, but not in that tradition. I celebrate it for what it was. It was a celebration of family. It's not about materialism.
Yeah.
It's certainly not about the man in the red suit. What a takedown.
That goes back to? That goes back to what's behind you, the Amanita. That's what Saint Nick was like. It goes back to the Amanita mushroom.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Okay, here's the thing. Humanity needs a reason to celebrate, not worship. Never worship. Don't give your power away. You're an all-powerful God. Stop giving it away. But we have the need to celebrate because it puts you in a higher vibrational. To be grateful is one of the highest things you can do to raise your vibration. To be in fear is lowering your vibration. So I'm always saying this to everyone. You're going to act like a third person. And when anything hits you, you're going to step out of yourself. You're going to look at the problem from a perspective of, I have nothing to gain or lose from this. I'm just going to look at it, okay? It doesn't affect me. I know that's going to be hard to do. Learn how to do it. Then when you step back into yourself, you're going to experience it because you ain't going to run away. You cannot run away. You must face it. You're going to be there. You're going to face it. You're going to get your brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain to combine. And you're going to take control of each one of these brains, your trinity. You're not going to let your trinity run you. You're going to take your trinity back and you're going to control it. You're going to experience whatever this thing is, and then you're going to let it go and don't live there. That way, you'll have done what you needed to do. You release it. Your trinity isn't running you. It's the worst thing if your trinity, it's been so disconnected. Either we're too logical and we feel nothing, we're too much in the heart and we're constantly crying and down on the floor begging for mercy, or you're living out of your gut and you're constantly in fear. Fear, 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 fear. So you're going to get a hold of this trinity. You're going to combine it into the unit, and you're going to control it. It's not going to control you. This is how you raise your vibration.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that. I love that. Let me see here. Let me see if there's any other questions. So 100 years from now says, I missed the Walmart live stream. I said, that would have been funny if I would have done it. I used to work there. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm not trying to go back to that. Trust me. I saw some of the guys I used to work with today. I feel bad. I mean, like, because they're all good people. They were my friends, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I just, sometimes you got to do stuff in life you don't like, but I always go back to it when I've been going around this time of year because I'm thankful to be doing what I'm doing now as compared to like.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't go back into the world, and I've always worked for myself. I had my own business for 17 years. And then when I retired, I had no idea that I was not going to be retired, that I would be ending up doing this. This was never going to be my life, but it became my life. I wasn't even in cyber world. I didn't want no part of it. My daughter dragged me into cyber world, and I think it was like 2017. And then from there, I never looked back. I hated cyber world though. But then I got pretty much forced into, when I started remote viewing and seeing, and I had visions and everything of what was going to be the takedown to humanity because they were trying to genocide everyone. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to tell the whole world. I started telling my family, and they're all like, you're insane. No one's going to do that to us. And I'm like, but they are. I see it. Why don't you believe me? So all these years later, guess what? Now the evidence is all out there. All you got to do is find it. And if you haven't found it, you have not been looking.
All you got to do is go on the World Economic Forum's website. They tell you in plain person. They want to depopulate the world. You know what I mean? They want you to own nothing and like it. And we all know, like everybody.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons I started a YouTube channel is I needed to get the message out. Don't take, And I was screaming it on the rooftop and to anybody who would listen to me. But I had no proof. I had visions. I had remote viewing. I had all these things, but I had no solid evidence. And I said, there will come a day, you mark my words. It'll be late. It'll be years late. But everything I say will be proven. And now it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Now it is.
Wow.
I started talking about it before it was ever distributed in the USA.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can go back to my very beginning videos and although you'll have to go to Odyssey because YouTube took down at least 40 videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably gonna end up being on Rumble because I got a couple strikes against me right now, and I'm like, I'm not trying to get my YouTube channel taken, but I mean, like,
no.
My views on my videos on Rumble have been getting good views, like, so it's like I'm happy with that, like I'm.
Yep.
Put
it on Rumble. I will actually take this and put it onto YouTube because I don't care.
We're on YouTube right now. We're live on YouTube. We have like 80 people watching, but my light went out. Sorry. But,
that's okay.
I mean, like, I just get nervous because, like, they. Like,
yeah, I'm trying not to say words. I can do motions that won't get stricken, but I can't say words.
Yeah. That. Well, this has been.
I will not say words.
Yeah. Well, this has been amazing, Sonia. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? And thank you so much for doing it.
Oh, okay. So you can find me on YouTube. I'm the Tree of Knowledge, Sonia Testerman. The Tree of Knowledge. I'm on Odyssey, The Tree of Knowledge, Sonia Testerman. I'm on Patreon, The Tree of Knowledge, Sonia Testerman. I'm on Rumble, but that's only for me to film. That's it. That's all I use Rumble for. Because I actually don't do any of my channels. I show up to do things like this and I do my own thing, but I have a person, Arthur, he's in France, and he does all of my channels for me. He set up the whole Patreon. He works that thing. He does my YouTube. He does my Odyssey. He does my Rumble. He sets up my lives. He sets everything up because I'm so computer illiterate. I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like
dude,
that. I'm intelligent.
That's
and
so nice to have someone like that. Big shout out to Arthur. Merry Christmas, Arthur, if you see this. I like you, Sandra. Sonia, I like you a lot. You're cool.
Oh, thank you, Rob. I like you too.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, thank you so much, and until next time, and thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.